Here's the big question. How is it that most entrepreneurs hustle and are always busy and struggle to take just one step forward only to fall two steps back? They're dedicated, determined, and driven, but only a few finally break through and win. This show uncovers those quantum leap patterns of highly successful people so you can simply model what they do and apply to your future success. That's the question, and the answers are right here. My name is Brigitte Höfele, and this is the Success Patterns Show. And welcome to the Success Patterns Show. My name is Brigitte Höfele. I am here with you today on this beautiful Tuesday. I am the CEO of the Center of NLP and the founder of the Success Pattern Movement. And boy, oh boy, are you in for a treat today. The quality of your success starts with your attitude towards success. I'm going to say that again. The quality of your success starts with your attitude towards it. And success, I'm going to put an air quotation mark, is an interesting thing because it shapes its meaning within each individual success seeker, if you will. It's not limited to business or personal life. I would even say, and this is what I teach, all success in your personal life will bleed over into your business life and vice versa if you're doing it right. Success is modeled in patterns, in strategies, and in behavior. And with this show, the Success Pattern Show, we're decoding these patterns, strategies, behaviors that led to the success of our guest experts. So you, in return, can then encode your success today. That's how easy it is. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, right? If everyone would do it, it would be amazing. So we're going to give you how to model success because they're grandmasters at work. And when I say that we have a show today, I mean we have a show today. We have a powerhouse. And you're like, you're already a powerhouse. No, you have no idea, you guys. You have literally no idea. And I'm about to introduce this person, this woman. She's absolutely incredible. I met her many years ago. I'm going to share some pictures with you guys later, or we're going to share some pictures. She is not once or twice, she's a 10-time heavyweight bodybuilding champion. She's an international selling author. She's an entrepreneur. She's a teacher. She's a mentor. She's an advocate for individual achievement and excellence. That's what she stands for. She recently received an award as an international speaker in cinema and media from the Women of Excellence. She has always been representing the underdog and is a passionate spokesperson for people who are different and live the motto, it's the hard that makes it good. Because if it were easy, everyone would do it. So we're going to make it simple for you guys. I want to welcome, and if you're somewhere where you can stand up, I really want you to stand up on your feet. Help me welcome Ms. Lauren Powers. Lauren, it's so good to have you here. Thank you for being here.
That was quite an intro. My goodness, I'm getting ready to stand up.
I applaud you. Yay.
Oh, wait, that's me. Okay.
That's you.
Yeah, you're so awesome. What a great show you have going on here. I'm very excited for you. This is amazing. And thank you for the opportunity to be part of it.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Actually, 10 minutes ago, that's what friends do, right? We're going live in 10 minutes. I'm like, I'm your girl. Let's go. That's how we do it. Right?
What are we doing?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
How long ago did we meet? It's been a few years.
Yeah, we met at Bank when you were the rah-rah, getting the dance group up front. I remember just jumping in there. I'm like, this girl is amazing. And I just loved your energy. So you and I, of course, connected immediately and, did our photos. And then I got to see you again and then again. And that was probably, 5 years ago, maybe more. I don't know. Time is just so crazy right now.
Time's an interesting
here, right? You just reach out to me and go, hey, let's do this. I'm like, okay. That's the thing. I think that's what leads to success. And one of your patterns is you say yes, and then you figure it out later.
My girl right here.
Yes, that's been one of my secret sauce, behind the scenes, if you will. I just say yes to everything. Like, can you do this? I'm like, yes. And then they're like, oh my gosh, what was it? But you know what? It
Well,
always works out. You get it? It always works out. And I think that because of that attitude you mentioned in the front of your show, it's always about the attitude going into some of these things that you're just
yeah.
like, yeah, I can do it. I can do anything. I'm Wonder Woman, right? That's been my life story. I can't do anything. I've done everything. People are like, it's a lot easier to ask you what you haven't done than to ask you what you've done. it's kind of fun when I get on these interviews. It's so funny. They're like, you've done what? What? And I'm just like, oh yeah, and I've done this and this and this. Because it's called living life, just living life to the max and saying yes and being that positive attitude and just going all in with, tons of motivation and just know that you can do it. And you can. I believe anybody can do anything if they want to. Right?
You know what? We could stop right here, right now, and people would have a ton of information, right? And we haven't even started yet. Like, I
Yeah.
love the richness that you bring, and the motto of, yeah, I'm going to say yes. The answer is always yes. Now, what's the question? When are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? It doesn't really matter. We're going to do it.
That's right. We've always figure it out. We
always figure it out. And you know what? The beautiful thing is, between you and I, we are resourceful. If we don't know something or we don't have something, we know who we can ask.
Correct. That's a big deal. That's right. It's called building relationships. That's why it's so important. Like, you and I have a relationship, right? I haven't seen you in years, but it doesn't matter. You text me in 5 minutes. Hey, come on my show in 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm there. I'm your girl, because we built that connection and that deep relationship immediately. And we don't have to like talk every day. We just pick up and go because we've got each other's back. And I think that's the key to women's empowerment. And that whole connection is so important. So you never know who you're going to meet. You never judge anybody up front. Never. Like, that is such a big no-no. I wrote a whole chapter about it in my book. Never judge a book by its cover. But you can judge this book by this cover, because this book went #1 in 11 countries. We got it 11. I'm so proud of it, in 98 categories.
That is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, thanks. And Mamie, our girl Mamie, our mutual friend, she's the one that talked me into writing a book. She's like, Lauren, you have so much in there. You have to share with the world to empower other women. You've done all these amazing things, but nobody knows about it. Get your book. And so, she stayed on me, and here it is. And it's still going strong. I'd love to gift your listeners, your audience, a free copy.
Okay, we're going to come back to that at the end, so people can write us. Probably, we need to figure out how they can get one. But this is amazing, and that's the kind of person you are, Lauren. You don't overthink it. You just go do it. I mean, it's your personality type too. Is that what got you? Oh my gosh, I could start in so many different places. Never judge a book by its cover. Let's start there. Like, people see you. Like, people see you. Come on, show your guns. Show your guns.
They're small now. Since COVID, I've taken a break from training, and like you said, I was a 10-time champion, so I was probably 3 times the size. So I used to walk around with 15-inch biceps and talk about judgment. The general public, I talk about that also in my book, that they can be really cruel. But until they get to know me, or I open my mouth, people always apologize to me, which is interesting, because they're like, oh my gosh, you're so sweet. And, I thought you were this mean, badass chick, which, of course I am, but I'm not mean. I'm nice and sweet, and I'll talk to everybody. And that's the difference. And I've been in many leadership programs and done some deep dive work with this. And I'll tell you, people have really acknowledged that judgment. And I think I've taught a lot of people that lesson, and not to judge people by how they look, but to get to know their heart. And I think that is the key. And so I've been told I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm basically a marshmallow, but don't tell anyone.
This is streamed like on 30 different channels, but okay, we won't tell anyone.
We don't tell anyone that. Yeah, Lauren Powers is just a little tender cupcake. My mom calls me her teacup. I stayed out with another pro bodybuilder. We toured all over the world, and she's like, how are my little teacups? We're like these giant powerhouse women. It's so funny. But yeah, I've been through all that, but it taught me a lot of lessons, and I love sharing that part, that because you never know, somebody's background or their journey. And I feel once you know that, then you take the time to at least get to know somebody before you make this stereotype judgment about them. And it's just really key, because you never know who you're talking to. Seriously, you never know. And I've been in the Hollywood world and all that, and you never know who the producers are, the directors. Like, you could go in an elevator, and if you're in a bad mood or you're doing, acting like a jerk, and then you're on set with somebody and they're the director, you just blew it. You know what I mean? You just never know. So I just think that's key. And I really like people to know that. And it's not easy. These things that you and I talk about and have done are not easy things. They do take work, and you have to apply yourself to all these and be conscious of it and work at it. I make things sound easy, and I know you do too. When I first met you, I was just like, wow, I was just so mesmerized by your energy and how you led the whole room, and you connect with everybody. And, I just thought that was awesome. You took control. And I looked up to you when I first met you. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. I wasn't really a speaker then. And you were one of my inspirations, to be honest with you. Now, I never told you that, but I know I told Mamie that I just thought you were so awesome. And I guess it's the NLP and all the things you teach, which I didn't even know about that at the time. I'm all mesmerized by your power.
We're fangirling here from both sides, okay? So everyone's watching. Just learn how to fangirl, okay? That's what we're doing here.
It's true. I speak very authentically, and we this isn't scripted. You didn't have questions. We didn't talk about this, none of that. And I run my shows the same way. And that's why I felt very comfortable getting on here, because I feel when you just speak from the heart, whatever the message is supposed to comes out. Whatever people are supposed to hear, that's what you're going to say. And just be authentic and transparent. And there's nothing better than that. I think rehearsed, scripted, even speeches and, speaking events. People are like, what are you going to say, Laura? I'm the keynote speaker. I'm like, I don't know.
Whatever falls out of my mouth.
Yeah. And one, it's less stress because you don't have to memorize a speech. However, I did do that once. I did do a Sue Talk. I don't know if you know what that one is. It's like a female version of a TED Talk. And again, talk about saying yes. The CEO calls me at the last minute. She's like, Lauren, somebody dropped out. If anybody can fill this position, it's you. Will you do it? And back to my original statement, what did I say? Yes, of course I'll do it. Can I just tell you, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It was the most insane, stressful, pressure thing that I had to do because I didn't get the coaching that everybody else did. I had like 8 days to give this memorize word for word 10-minute speech, which is not my jam. That's not my style. Yeah. And so you had to write it. They gave me a speech coach, but you had to have exact words, how many words within the minutes. You can't go over a second. Like, it was so crazy. And then it had to be hard. It was very stressful. And besides, and not only that, in the time they gave me to do it, I was booked out with all these other events. I was speaking. I emceed an entire fitness event like the day before, like crazy. And just to get on a Zoom call to get approved of my speech, because there was a whole board that had to approve every single word. No, it was like crazy. I had to get up and do it, on Zoom during COVID. I'm like, this is just nuts. And I'll tell you, just be really transparent, which I've never done this before. I was up there and literally you can probably relate to this. The pressure, I blacked out. I literally didn't even know my name. It was the weirdest feeling ever. And I was like, I didn't know what to do, right? There's the cameras, people are paid to be there. It was a big fancy dinner. They're online. They paid to be watching virtual. It was like this huge thing. And I'm standing up there, everybody's staring at me. And apparently they said, I just put my head in my hands and just said, this was such an emotional moment for me that I'm reliving this. And at that moment, I guess everybody connected with me. They knew it wasn't rehearsed. I got caught up in my mind where I was at in my speech, finished stronger than ever. And people they loved my speech more than anybody. And,
was it the same speech that you rehearsed?
Yes, but I forgot. I blacked out. But what they said, it was post-COVID, because I had COVID really bad last summer. And I guess the brain and the pressure, I just literally blacked out. And my whole speech was like, never giving up. And I wanted to walk off the stage. I just like, what? Because I didn't know what to do. And I run off the table. I'm like, well, I can't do that because my whole topic never giving up, right? And so I'm like, well, that's not an option. So I just had this heartfelt moment, and all these people came up to me after. I thought like I blew it because they put so much pressure on me that if you're not ready, you can't do this, and da da da. But it's just really intense. But it ended up being very positive. I interviewed the all the coaches and the founder and the CEO, like the whole thing afterwards, and they all gave me accolades. So it worked out really, really well. But again, I said yes, even though it was really intense, and I had this blackout moment, which I've never done ever. It was.
I see so many things that can be in balance, or that are not just can be, they are in balance for you. On the outside, the cover of the book of you is very strong and almost hard, right? There you go. like badass. I can say that, I think.
Right.
I don't know. My producer will tell me if I can say it or not. And when you open up, and when I get to know you, it's immediate, the beauty and the kindness and the heart-centeredness and the everything just oozes out of you, right? It's the same. Again, there's that balance of when we are trying to memorize something like a speech or whatever we're delivering. We're so in our head, and then we're not in our heart. I feel like you have that beautiful balance in so many areas.
Thank you. God's gift, baby. Yeah. From God, literally. At the end of my speech, I just want to give all your glory to God, like that. Everybody went crazy. It was really something. It's on YouTube. It's on my YouTube channel. It's on their YouTube channel. It was, like I said, it's that back to that say yes thing and figure it out. That was a big test, but nobody died.
When does and I think I know the answer, but the question is, when does Lauren get weak? Does Lauren have a weakness?
Well, that I would consider that was a moment where, I wasn't 2000% like I normally am, just that moment. But I like staying humble. And I think being humble is the key to success as well. You talk about success patterns and all that. When you start getting fully yourself, that's when I think people can feel that is my experience. Because I know I can feel when other people are like that. And I don't choose to be around those kind of people. I have a lot of successful friends and very powerful people in my world, but who I choose to spend my time with are people that they're successful, but they don't brag about it. I mean, we love to talk about our accomplishments and all that because it's to be inspiring and empowering to other women, not to boast about it. And I think that's that balance that you talk about. It's very important to be grateful, live in gratitude, and be humble, no matter where you are in this journey of life. I think those are really.
With you. And that's that's what I appreciate about you. How do you get that? Like, do you work on it? Do you have it? Have you always had it? Can you share with others how they can get it? Because I know a few people that actually really need that. a little pinch of humbleness.
Yeah, well,
or a little pinch of humility.
Yes, I think it's a choice. Like you said, the attitude, you can choose to be, a jerk, or you can choose to be kind and sweet. I mean, it's that internal attitude and really coming from the heart. And I think once you tap into that and the power of that, you're on your way. You really are. But it does. It takes effort. All this stuff, like I said earlier, these things don't just come natural. If they did, everybody would be amazing, right? But it's not the case. So I think it's a choice in who you choose to surround yourself with, who you choose as your mentors, who you choose as your friends, who you choose to worship, who you choose to, what you want to do with your life and your time, and what's your purpose and what's your passion, and putting it all together takes years of work to do this. We didn't just wake up like this. You know what I mean? Like, I've been to your courses.
You mean these didn't come just overnight?
Well, people ask me that all the time. How can I get that? Or if I work out with you, it might not look that big. I'm like, sweetheart, never Not in this lifetime. Don't worry your pretty little head. I know people are so funny. They just are. You just have to laugh. Again, that's just being humble and being joyful. I think choosing to be joyful rather than stressed out and all these things that can come with life, It's
I mean, you
enjoy-
have a lot. You have a lot going on. I mean, you clearly work out still. You might not work out as much.
not like I used
I don't
to.
know. Yeah, I mean, how much did you use to work out? Like
Well, I used
hours?
to work out. No. People, again, those are my TV shows. That's all for sensationalism. Don't always believe they're reality TV. I've been on enough of them to know. Yeah, I've been on. Gosh, my life story has been on probably 9 networks now. I'm still going strong.
Wow.
Actually, TLC, I'm really proud to announce it hasn't aired yet, but it'll be coming out. I got a call, 3 months ago, something like that, from the casting of TLC, the network. And they said, you were on the show 12 years ago, but they want to do a story on where are they now? So the whole crew flew in from New York. I had like 5 cameras here. It was a crazy 13-hour shoot. It was nuts on where they are now. And I got to talk about my faith, which I'm very proud of. So the show 12 years ago was My Strange Addiction. It was a big popular show on TLC, and it was crazy. People were doing the craziest things you've ever seen in your life. Mine was addicted to fitness and bodybuilding, right? Not really an addiction, but it made good TV. So they had me on the show, and it was fun, and it was a whole story back then. But when they came back, it was all about my faith and how I live my life today, and some of the changes. And it was really neat. It's going to be very powerful. I was crying when I talk about my faith, and it was talk about humble and very authentic and transparent. I couldn't help it. They put these cameras in your face, and I'm sitting there in the chair, and it was like, oh my gosh, they were asking the most deep, heartfelt questions. It was intense, but hopefully it will impact a lot of the viewers that see it and realize that how important today is in our times to have some sort of faith, whatever it is. I choose Jesus and God, but whoever, it doesn't even matter. Just be on that path, because life is crazy right now. I never thought we'd live during these times, to be honest with you. But it is, it's here, and I'm really strong with my faith. So that's where I'm at now. And TLC, it's coming out probably, I think, October, November, something like that. It'll be at the top of the season. You'll hear about it. It's a big, big show.
Yeah, I mean, I follow you. You follow me on all of the social media, and for the ones at home, follow Lauren, right? Follow Lauren Powers, and stay tuned about the book at the end.
Yes.
And yet again, there is, what is it called? Beneath the Muscle.
Beneaththemuscle.com is just the website. They can go there and get a digital free copy right there, or I can send them an autographed copy. They just pay for the shipping. And
I want an autographed copy.
Yeah, hello, you haven't gotten one yet?
No. Like, hello, where's mine?
Yes, girlfriend, I know. We need to connect in person. Got a lot of fun pictures with celebrities I've got to work with, and some of my fan favorite shots. I'm very proud of it.
Speaking of celebrities you've worked with, hold on.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Look at this. Tell us about this one.
That, talk about manifesting and the law of intention. I tell the story when I'm speaking about how powerful your words are and your thoughts. World of Dance, which is a big dance show with Jennifer Lopez. She's the executive producer and the head judge, and Derek Huff. They're all on there. I go in my living room. I'm like, I want to work with J-Lo. I've had the opportunity, people don't know this, and I'm not bragging, but it's just facts that I worked with, Lady Gaga in a big epic video. I've worked with Katy Perry. I've worked with Iggy Azalea. I've worked with Jennifer Hudson, Nick Jonas, just to name a few. Justin Bieber was one of my latest. Actually, Casey Musgraves is my very latest country Grammy Award winner as a principal in her 10-day document. Anyways, big stuff. But J-Lo, I'm like, I love J-Lo. She's so amazing. She's so awesome. My cell phone goes off literally as I said the words, forget it.
No.
I'm like, I want to work with J-Lo. Cell phone, are you available for a music video? Didn't think anything of it. I just wrote, again, yes. I had no idea.
Exactly.
I had no idea what it was from. It wasn't from my agent. Usually you have to, you have to get an audition, the stuff. Then you have to go get a call back. Then you have to go for a fitting. You have to be on a veil. Like, this is a big process. when you work on these projects. This was just a random text from a 323 number, which is Los Angeles.
Couldn't be
And
that
so,
big of a fitting.
yeah, it was nothing. It was, yeah, right. Well, that's another story. But so the next day I get another text. They met you for 2 days. I'm like, what did I say again? Yes, no problem. And then it comes out, they just gave me an address. There was no who it was, what it was, nothing. I didn't know anything about it. I just went in blind faith off a text message. No agent, no name, nothing. Just a cell phone number. It was the weirdest thing ever. But I got in my, big Escalade with my picture all on the side and all very branded. Roll up to, Hollywood at the studios. And the guy comes out of the security hut and he's like, "Good morning, ma'am. Are you here for the Jennifer Lopez music video?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Yes.
Yeah,
that's
it
right.
Was not. There it is. So there's me sitting in the thing and there she is dancing. It was fabulous working with her. I was the only one that got a picture with her as well. There was all these models. They ran off and I just went in for the kill because the director wanted me to wear that string bikini. And I'm like, "What?" I go, "I just had pizza and ice cream last night. Are you crazy? I didn't know it was some big music video. You never told me. Nobody told me anything. I just came here." And she's like, "Please, please, please wear this." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." And I don't know what I did to my body, but I manifested to look the way it did, which was amazing.
I mean, look at her, you guys. Look at her. She looks phenomenal.
Pulled that off. And in those heels, I had to walk up this step thing. And that was a mere platform. No direction from anybody. It was this huge, of course, J-Lo. Big set. There was white everywhere. The white carousel, that was there. It was massive thing. Everybody's in white, the whole thing, couture. I wasn't even supposed to be in that scene. But then I went back to the director because I hadn't seen J-Lo yet. We filmed early. I did the bodybuilding thing. There was a fire eater and a contortionist and a two-headed thing. That was just this great during her song, right? And then all the models were getting ready. I'm like, "I want to be on the carousel." I told the director I kind of befriended her, right? Because again, you just never know.
Relationships.
Yes, I thought she was the makeup girl. Her and I were sharing nail polish and all this. She's getting her makeup done next to me. Yeah, I had no idea she was the director until she asked me to wear that thing. Then I thought she was wardrobe. No, she was the head girl. So you know what I mean? Again, I didn't judge, made friends with her. And then when I asked her if I could be in this scene, would she say yes?
Yes.
And I got to go get redressed, go back to wardrobe. I got in that couture, got those fancy boots, and then I got to meet J-Lo and work with her. So there you go. You got to ask. That's another key to success, these patterns. You have to ask. You show up, you say yes, and you ask for what you want. For me, that is my background and my success.
No, so you didn't ask. It's not just saying yes. It's also asking.
You have to ask. That's right. You have to not be afraid to ask. What's the worst thing that can happen? They just say no. But I don't never even hear no. I just keep asking. It's like, "Oh, baby," I take no as KNOW. They want to know more.
I love that. I love that. Tell me more about you being an advocate for the underdogs. Did you grow up as an underdog? Where does that come from?
Well, yes, because I've always been that way. Yeah, I've been bullied. I've been made fun of. I've been discriminated against. I obviously, we talked about me being judged pretty harshly for being a bodybuilder for the years. I've traveled all over the world, and people don't understand. They just see it, a woman walking around like that. You can imagine the comments I've gotten. But instead of letting that hurt me, I let that fuel me. And I talked about it in a lot of interviews like this, especially on national TV. I talked about my naysayers and my haters and all these negative people that when they do that to me, it doesn't hurt me. It fuels me. And I'll tell you what, the secret to that is it's dissipated. I don't hear those comments anymore. No one comes at me. I don't see the negative talks or comments on social media, like all of that stuff. It's because they can't hurt me. Their intention was to tear you down. That's what naysayers do. You know what I mean? And I don't understand that. It's so crazy. I don't have a vindictive, malicious bone in my body. So it's really hard for me to understand that mindset. And I don't want to. I just know it's there now because the bigger, more success I've had, the more people come at me. It's just part of the game. But if you embrace it and acknowledge it, they can't hurt you anymore. It's really weird how that works, but I'm living proof of it.
I mean, over the years, you've gotten really good at conditioning, right? You condition your muscle, you condition your, you know, how conditioning works of your physical self. And you've also learned how conditioning of your mind works. And I love that. And again, here's that balance again in Lauren, because, you know, when I go to the gym and I work out and with a personal trainer, he's got great skills and success patterns when it comes to conditioning the body, not necessarily conditioning the mind. So I often find people who have one or the other, finding them to have both, that's beautiful. I don't have the guns, but I'd like to say I do have that, and I don't have the guns, but I like to to physically condition myself as well.
Yes, it's important. It's really important. Everything I believe, you know, I talk a lot about when I coach women, whether it's, you know, in branding or their business or their body, it's all starts with mindset. And you know this more than anybody. It all starts with the mind, and you have to want to. I had this sign that just popped out at me. Believe, you have to believe in yourself. I got this I was at the big screening of the show, my favorite show, Ted Lasso. It was just
I love
last
that
night.
Show.
Isn't that the best show on TV? I
That
love
is
it.
the best show.
Yeah, I was there last night. I met all the cast. I met the whole cast. Uh-oh. What's happening?
That's the cast calling you. You're going to be on their next show.
I gotta go. I know. That happens. Where'd you go? I lost you here.
I'm right here. Just follow the voice.
There we go. Stop. Yeah. It actually is my agent. That is so funny. You see? See? Power of intention. That's
We're
so
manifesting
exciting.
all of that.
This was absolutely fabulous. It was the most amazing. Stop it.
He really needs to get in touch with you.
I have it on silent.
He really needs to get in touch with you. You know what? I'm gonna share this one with everyone.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's fun. We're in Las Vegas.
That was in Vegas. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's got something for you. And that was in Vegas too. I don't know what face I'm making, but we're having fun.
Oh, that's funny. And there you are. You're the speaker. That was at Bank. You're so funny. I love it.
That was probably at a different time, but yeah, this is absolutely incredible. So let me find where I can. There we go. Okay, so book.
That's what we're talking about. You got to believe in yourself. If you're the underdog, that you can achieve whatever you set your mind to. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's the truth. That's why I don't understand. I have my phone on silent. I don't know how they're getting through. That is the craziest thing.
Your agent must get in touch with you. I can't wait to have you on again and actually ask you what came out of that conversation, because something's great coming out of it.
I think I know. Oh, okay. They're putting me in a new movie. I auditioned for something, for a role. I even forgot about it, because that's the thing. I'm not attached to the results. That's another nugget. Write that down, people. Do not be attached to the results, because you never know. And so here she reached out to my agent saying, well, the production cut that role, but we want to use Lauren for another role. And I even forgot what it was about. What it was. And there was
having goals, but being unattached. Another great balance.
Yes. Do the work, show up, give it your all, and not be worried about the outcome. And don't take it as rejection. See, I just forget. I've been doing this for a long time, though. Again, not easy, but doable. Because I don't care. And I've gotten cast in things months and months later that from a director's reel, they call it, from the taping, somebody else will see it, and then they'll put me in something else. So you just never know. And just all you can do is show up, give it your best, do what you do, and then don't worry about it. Whatever happens is supposed to happen. It's in God's hands after that. It's like, there you go. It's not a big deal. And
set goals and then be unattached. Set goals, be unattached.
Be unattached.
Show your book again. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be unattached to the results.
Right.
But you got to follow through. That's another key. You can't just, throw things in the air. You have to be diligent. You have to be organized. You have to keep, all the balls in the air and then catch what ones work. And I talk about how these steps. So you guys, what I've been talking about, it's all in the book. Each chapter, it's broken down. And there's a workbook after each chapter where you read what I talk about, but how it applies to you in your life. So it's not just me going blah, blah, blah about my story. It's all how I can empower and motivate and inspire you to do the work for yourself and for your life. So
beneaththemuscle.com is where you get the book, right?
Correct. They can just go right to the website.
Beneaththemuscle.com.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, laurenpowers.com. Pretty simple. I've got all the information there, all my things. And I do a show like you do too, the Power Off, to have you on my show, because I use StreamYard as well and have the same bells and whistles, and my production crew put up photos and websites, and it's all about promoting you. So it's my show, but I always highlight my guest. It's always about how they can impact the world. And it's just using my platform. So yeah, I know. See, of course.
I love it.
That's how we roll.
It's reciprocity, right? That's who we are, and that's what we do. Guys, laurenpowers.com and beneaththemuscle.com. You got to first of all write them both down, and then go and actually go download it and go through the workbook. And I'm going to have my signed book. I'll probably come pick it up.
Yes, come visit me.
I'll come visit you. I'm flying over there anyway.
When you come to Orange County?
Pretty soon, because we have friends that have lived in Atlanta. They moved over to Orange County. They're in Italy right now, but when they're back, we're coming to Orange County.
Right on. That means we get to connect.
Lauren,
and I gave you your personal copy, girlfriend. It's a date.
I can't wait to give you a hug. Guys, follow Lauren Powers. She's amazing. She stands for everyone. She's the most kind-hearted person I've ever met. Thank you, Lauren, for being here. And I can't wait to see you on the screen and hear what else is coming out of all of those great phone calls.
So all my YouTube channel has a lot of my work too. If you want to just look at Lauren Powers.
Okay, so Lauren Powers YouTube channel?
YouTube channel, yeah. It's real, just search my name, it comes right up. It's fun. Fun Instagram, Lauren Powers. Easy. Yes, thank you for having me. This has been a lot of fun. I totally enjoy your energy. Back to you too.
I send you big hugs. And guys, tune in again next week, same time, same place, Success Pattern Show. Until then, rock on. Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you for tuning in to the Success Pattern Show at www.thesuccesspatternshow.com. My name is Brigitte Höfele.